welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Maven Show.
What's up, guys?
Whoop, whoop. That's Josh. That's
Hey.
Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
It's
Hey,
Jeremy.
guys.
Hey.
Hey.
And I'm Aaron. Glad that you are joining us as we discuss all things real estate and maybe sometimes nothing real estate.
I was about to say, few things real estate.
Every once in a while,
few things.
we touch on the topic of real estate in our market. And what are we addressing today? Do you want to talk about any of the stuff we talked about with Taylor Swift before we jumped on these mics?
I mean,
What was the deal with the person wearing the towel? What was that?
that's a blanket lady. Blanket lady.
She's known as Blanket Lady.
Blanket lady. Yeah, she called into work to go to a Taylor Swift concert, and to make sure she didn't get caught, she put a blanket and sunglasses over her head, and she looked like Uncle Thing from Addams Family. And the wild thing is, so she got on a news interview, and they interviewed her through the microphone.
In disguise.
Yeah.
In disguise with a towel covering.
I'd prefer. I think it's blanket. She is blanket.
Oh, it's
lady.
Blanket Lady.
Blanket
I
lady.
apologize.
Like a
Get it
fleece.
right.
Yeah.
Get it right.
She's famous
good
for
flannel.
being known as Blanket
Yes.
Lady.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And-
she's got a blanket over her head.
Yeah. And a glowing personality. Just so much so that the news station that like interviewed her brought her back on to the set a few days later with her blanket. So like they interview her and she's sitting in a seat and she's got a blanket. She looks like she's in a burqa.
Yeah.
But she's got sunglasses and Uncle Thing blanket.
An in-studio interview with Blanket Lady.
With Blanket Lady. And she was anonymous. Like they kept it anonymous. She, to the best of my knowledge, she still has a job. So
Congratulations to her.
here's to you, Blanket Lady.
Yeah.
She got fame. She got to wear the disguise of her choice, and she enjoyed the concert.
She was anonymously famous.
Yep. You know, I really think it would be the worthwhile. I think we should all try to push Taylor Swift to meet Blanket Lady.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
I think she deserves
Bring
to
her
meet
on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know why she couldn't perform with her at a concert.
It sounds like she's got the personality for it, and I'm sure she knows the songs.
What if, as an homage to Blanket Lady, at one of her concerts, T-Sizzle wears a blanket?
Wears a blanket.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just as a shout out to all those who are so devoted as fans. They will call in, lie to their employer, and wear a blanket over their face for maybe weeks.
So, Taylor Swift, I know you're watching this, and if you care about your fans at all,
Yeah.
I want to see a blanket over your head at the next venue that you
Yeah.
perform
As
at.
you go through the era, isn't it called? It's the era.
That's
Tour.
the tour?
Era
Yeah.
tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Era tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, because she's known for being very, like,
Fan-friendly.
personalized and
Yeah.
fan-friendly, but it's like, back it up. I mean, Blanket Lady.
Yeah.
You have this lady laying it all on the line.
What if Blanket Lady was Taylor Swift? That's the question I have. You know?
Where did she say she was employed? Do you know?
She didn't say where she was from. Where she was employed, but she's from Louisville, and from
Okay.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know where. Yeah,
Wow.
your guess is best.
Wow.
As good as mine.
I'm glad we
That's
touched
amazing.
on that
That's
before
amazing.
we went on to
Yep.
the less
more meaningful.
the less important matters.
Yeah,
I failed to mention this last time. Shout out. So Tommy and Abria came up, but
and who's that again?
Abria is my sister-in-law. So Mackenzie's sister.
Yep.
And so her and Tommy, they delivered a baby named Maven. They loved the name. They
That's
love the
dope.
name of our business, and they love the meaning of it. And so his name is Maven Alexander. It means understanding defender. I thought that was an awesome name.
Yeah.
That's very strong.
That was
yeah.
an awesome name. So I had to give a shout out because they're definitely asking for like memorabilia or
For
something
gear.
that's for gear. They basically want gear, but they're offering for him to kind of be like a spokes baby for Maven gear.
Destined to be
And-
a realtor.
Which,
Yes.
to be fair, if we got onesies as gear, we would all be able to put them to use pretty
Yeah.
well.
And
So,
people be like,
yeah.
There's-
What's that M thing on your baby?
oh, yeah. Yep.
The moneymaker. That's
And then
that's
we
what it is.
and then we could talk about like the two crows
Yep.
and
Ravens.
how the Ravens,
The Ravens.
the two Ravens, and how
Maven.
they visit the yes. anyway, so I had to give a shout out to them because I forgot that last time, and so he was delivered back.
That's awesome.
Back at the end of May.
That is fandom. I really appreciate that.
No,
That's
I thought that was
almost
awesome.
like this Taylor Swift story. I mean, it is like the level of commitment to name your child
Blanket
Maven.
lady, Maven baby.
Maven baby.
I mean,
that's great. I mean, there's nothing more Maven than Maven baby. It's great. That's
So
right.
I was
hey, speaking of life updates,
Yes.
or were you finished with that one?
No.
Okay. So speaking of life updates, you guys may not notice, but I actually broke my glasses yesterday,
How?
and I learned I was gardening, set them down because I was getting all hot and sweaty, and they were like falling off my face, and then someone stepped on them, and so someone broke my glasses. But we won't
Gotcha.
discuss.
mistakes were made.
The best theories. Mistakes were made. And this may not surprise you, but I've learned that I'm very picky on the type of glasses because of my head shape.
Well,
Well,
well.
So when it's as big as it is, plus a beard,
Listen,
look, dude, every single one of them, they either got these like pointy kind of like cat eye sort
I
of
think you
like
could pull
grandma
off a horn
look
rim.
thing, or they like, it's like the face is like squeezed in or something like that. I was like, my head makes glasses look tiny. So I had to get the same
Did we get that?
model
did we
of.
pick that up?
Wow. Yeah. Can we put that
Was
on
that
blast?
worth? Did we need to repeat it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What? So
Shocking statement.
I have a glasses brand and even model now, where like
Okay.
there's basically one model. So you may not have noticed because I had brown of the wide guys bulldog glasses, but today I'm wearing black ones because the brown ones were discontinued. So when I went to replace them, this is the only one. And I tried multiple glasses stores. And I had to come back to one store where I had found this brand, or else I wasn't gonna find something that would fit my face.
This shows how much I perceive and like pick up. I thought your glasses were black before. I didn't realize you had brown glasses.
Yeah, I used to have black glasses that were too small for my face.
Oh,
You
okay.
probably remember those.
So it was an optical. Well, it wasn't an optical illusion that your head was big. Your head is just big.
It's
and then-
enormous. That's right. I think I used to be called Sputnik, but that's
That was
It was-
before he wanted to be an astronaut.
It was distracting from you couldn't even notice his glasses.
the
His
face was so much
the
bigger
face itself is a distraction
from the glasses.
from the glasses.
That's right. That's
Sputnik.
right.
It's like if you
So-
were trying to set glasses on a massive pinwheel
Like a melon.
that's spinning. Like a spinning pinwheel. Are you going to pay attention to the glasses?
Really draws the
They look
focus
sharp.
in.
They look sharp.
They do
Thank
look
you.
sharp.
Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but I will take it.
No, it's good. That's all right. Even if undeserved, we'll give it.
Thank you.
So we're going to discuss some stories,
Hmm.
just some wonderful stories and interactions we have had in our real estate careers thus far that I think each of us would say we're nostalgic of.
That's a word.
We
Yeah,
look,
that's a word that
we
could be.
look back on fondly, some of them fearfully. But they happened.
That was a
and so we can tell them because these are the ones we can actually tell.
Yeah, we have a lot we can't.
Yeah.
Here's the ones we can. Here's the stories we can
There's some
tell.
there are some we can tell.
We're
So-
gonna write a book one day, but
So, so I think before we get into that, we want to give a shout out to the Welty team.
ooh, yes.
Eileen Welty, she's stepping in as what's the title? Is it loan officer?
Yeah,
is her title?
senior loan analyst or something like that.
So
yeah.
stepping in place, Dominic Dangora has been handling that position for several years now with Cornerstone Home Lending, and he's been
Yeah, I think we've worked with him
phenomenal.
for 5 or 6 years.
yeah. So he's been fantastic. Have loved referring people over to them.
Yep.
And I think she's going to fit in pretty seamlessly.
Yeah,
She's been with him most of the time that he's been over there.
I think we've been with him for 6 years, and she's been there for about 5.
Yeah.
Like I remember a time.
her
briefly
familiarity
before.
with the process and her knowledge, and I think the way that she's going to be structuring her team is going to be really good. So
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think want to give a shout out to her. That's great. Happy for her.
Yep.
Dominic, he's going to be stepping out of the lending world and going a different direction.
Yep.
So
Yep.
happy for him
Dominic,
too. Happy for
we'll
him
miss
too.
you
So
on the day to day.
we will. But
It's been a great run.
Yes.
But Eileen's gonna carry that, and keep that run going. It's not. We'll miss him personally, but the standards are the same, so it's terrific.
And if you worked with Dominic with us, you probably already know Eileen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she was one of the
familiar.
She was one of the major point of contacts for anybody who was buying a house and working with them.
She was part of that great experience.
That's right.
Wanted to give them a shout out, give her a shout out, and also just make sure everybody knows that's happening. And then wanted to mention a 5-star review for Sandy, one of our wonderful real estate agents as part of the team. Sandy, she does a lot of work, Oklahoma City Metro and surrounding area, but she also does in Lawton. Mm-hmm. So a little bit further south and west, Lawton, Elgin, all that area, Medicine Park, which is really pretty.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful. Doesn't feel like Oklahoma down there. It's like a different place.
You got to watch out where you're hiking every once in a while.
Why do you say that, Aaron?
Well, my wife, while she was pregnant, we went hiking. She had broken her leg. She broke her leg when we went hiking.
She broke her leg.
She did.
While pregnant.
She did.
While hiking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then shortly after she broke it, she was trying to stand on it and say, well, let me, I think I might be able to make it. So anyways, she was persuaded not to try, and she allowed several of us to carry her down. So which
I just heard how inspired some of the men were when they saw you like carrying your wife over these. Were they like boulders
it was like down,
and stuff?
It was on
like
a really steep grade. It was really steep, and Aaron
they
was
saw
just
you like muscling it through it like by yourself for a period of time at least.
It was definitely one of those out of body experiences when it happened.
It's just like
where like you wake up and you're in the car driving down the road and you're not quite sure how you got there.
So Aaron earned his husband points for the year.
She's healed really well. Obviously, we've gone through the delivery of little Lila. Lila Joy. So she's doing well.
No, but that was wild because they were worried that she wasn't going to be all the way healed before the delivery and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we were even worried. I mean, initially it was like, is she going to have surgery?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, she didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So she was able to just wear a boot. Walk around until she got strengthened. So
I do think like that was one of the biggest like spur of the moment team building activities I've ever participated in. Just like us just like chair carrying Mackenzie down the mountain.
It was. There was an immediate camaraderie building activity.
Yep.
We all became closer.
It's like some people go to a reps course. Some people break their legs.
Some people
Some
people
wife's
go hiking.
leg gets broken and spring into action.
Wow. Well, we're glad she's better and everybody was safe in the delivery.
Yep.
So Sandy got a 5-star review for helping somebody, the Hernandez family, and I was going to read this.
Yes.
I was going to read this real quick because it was a fantastic review that they shared. So they said, we were ready to pack up life and move out of state. Sandy wouldn't let us. You know, sometimes what happens, we rarely talk about this in the real estate world. We'll just hold you hostage.
It's like, I have your car keys and you're not leaving until we talk through all this.
If we like you enough, that's right. You don't have a choice. So apparently that's what this is one of those situations. Sandy wouldn't let us. She worked hard to find us a great place and helped us find a lender that could make it happen. First time buyers here and still wondering if it's real. Thanks again, Sandy. So that was the Hernandez family. That was awesome.
Work.
Great review, Sandy. Great work.
Good job.
Yeah. My understanding was they really had been turned down by lender after lender, and she found someone who was able to actually solve their problems and figure it out. And so just really hustling to get the deal done.
Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes that's the case where it's actually for a bunch of different reasons, a lender may not be looking at the full picture, right? And they may just need additional information.
Yep.
And they've got to do some legwork to track it down so that they can resolve the problem and actually get somebody to a qualifying score or qualifying income. So the fact that she was able to do that, the lender was able to do that, and the family stuck it out to do that. That speaks volumes. That's great. Thrilled for them.
Oh yeah, I'm really proud of Sandy, like where she's at in the business. Like you always wonder, is somebody going to adopt the culture and like the attitude that you have or something like that? And she has just totally owned it where like very aggressive, going and solving problems for people. Because you see so many agents, so many lenders, different people who just, it's like they're waiting for you to solve the problem as the buyer or the consumer. And you don't have the answers. Like, that's why I'm hiring you, right? And so she totally, takes ownership of let's solve these problems and get all the answers we can. Even if the answer is no, let's make sure it's a no. And great work, Sandy.
Congratulations, Randy and his family. Congratulations, Sandy. That was awesome. Great review to share.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Thrilled for everybody involved. The first story we wanted to start. So the idea was we really wanted to come up with a couple of stories or interactions we have had in the real estate world so far along the way in our professional careers as real estate agents. We have several to choose from we could start with. Jeremy, you had one that was on a listing earlier this year.
Yeah, this year.
This wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
And so
I've actually had similar calls like this.
This is okay.
Yeah, it's
So this is not the only instance of something like this occurring.
yeah.
But what did you want to share?
So I had a
it?
really funny phone call as a listing agent, and you just never know whenever there's a house out there miles away that people are going to call and tell you about. You just never know what's going to happen. But this one, it was a house that was vacant, and we'd had a really bad cold spell to where it was just the clients had turned the well off in their house because they were afraid with it being vacant it was going to freeze. Well, apparently the clients didn't know that, and whenever the agent took them in the house, they used the bathroom, dropped a load, just
Right.
filled it up, and there was no water to send it off. And I got a frantic phone call from a really nice agent. He did a phenomenal job. He handled the situation with grace and ease, and
Good.
But he was
Good, yes.
he was a little. He was bothered.
He was concerned.
He was, how do we get this out of here?
Yep.
And thankfully, he didn't live very far away. Won't name any names. Won't say
Sure,
where he
sure.
lived. But he went and he got some water from his house and went and put it in the toilet, the
Just a
top,
bucket?
and then a bucket and flushed it out.
You
And,
almost wish you could give the shout out to the agent who did
yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
I'm proud of that.
Real American heroes,
Yes.
Mr. Water Dumper, toilet cleaner.
That's what he was. He was a hero in the moment.
Okay.
Oh,
Especially on a cold
yeah.
day like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Icy
not
road.
that one. It's not gonna solve itself.
you know.
right.
That one's kind of need to do away with that pretty quickly.
Man.
So
I
that
think we've probably all made that, like, a version of that mistake before. And
Oh, yeah.
we all check the water before doing that. You always run the
Yes,
faucet just to make
yes.
sure.
Oh yeah, whenever they're like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Was
wait,
it
wait,
just
wait,
Wait
wait,
a
wait.
second.
Just a second. Yeah, that's right. Go test some supply lines, see what's going on. That's right. Yeah.
Do they have toilet paper?
Yes.
Because I've got some in the car. If they don't, just
Let me go get my emergency supply.
So you got to
Yeah.
make sure. Well, okay.
Shout out. You know who you are.
yeah. You
The hero of the day. You know who you are, other agent on that deal. So,
Mr. Number 2.
That's awesome.
and then the second, what about all the things that? Here's what I have on the note, and I'll just read it. Okay, so this is our prep work beforehand for Jeremy. All things that I have stepped through, as well as walking in on sleeping people.
Yes.
Okay, so
All
those are. I don't know which of those. Which of those you want to speak to first?
Well,
but,
a lot of people don't know this about me, but part of this story is my challenge. I'm gravity challenged. It's a real thing. I weigh a lot.
you've seen specialists.
Yeah. But
You're getting advice from some of the greatest minds in the medical field of gravity resistance.
gravity resistance or reduction.
Yes, gravity reduction.
Yeah. But my people, we struggle. And because of that, on multiple occasions, I have stepped onto something and then
Sure.
shortly after stepped through it.
Are we talking about like objects or like pets?
Not anything.
Nothing that
anything
breathes.
Animate. Nothing
Okay.
living. I haven't killed anything.
Good.
I've almost killed myself Yeah, some of it, if you step on drywall, if you're in an attic and you step on drywall, I've gone up and like to my waist through drywall before.
Yep.
That's not really weight. Like it wouldn't have held anyone.
Sure, of course.
But like one time I stepped onto a deck and went through it.
Ooh. Yes.
I thought I broke my foot. It was that bad, but broke
bad,
a deck. That's all. It's just always an awkward, like I was saying, whenever you get the call as a listing agent, well, when you got to send the photo as a listing agent, I stepped through your deck.
Yeah.
That
this happened
I don't
in
know.
real estate?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, and it could have just been the deck wasn't that solid. It's
right.
a little bit of,
They don't make them like they used to, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Just, you're right. You're right.
They really
but because
don't.
of that, now I tell my clients I'm not going to go on that deck. If you want to go on it, you can go on it, but I'm not.
I don't trust myself.
I often do that with attic ladders where I say, I can try this for you.
Yes.
And it will be the ultimate test. But you're going to have to get into position to try
Spot me.
to catch my body.
Well, there definitely are. You can tell whenever a ladder is fat friendly or when it's not. And there's most are not. They just,
Boy, those things, they just have a fine print and a weight limit. But you
know
what? There should be more people. You should become a spokesperson for against weakly constructed decks across America.
Yes. And wicker furniture.
Yeah.
That was a very specific complaint, Jeremy.
The other thing that I've had happen, this is not stepping through things, but on multiple occasions, I have shown houses that were supposed to be not occupied. A lot of times we've talked about this. It's like, the 24-hour show, like it's a rental property and somehow the wires get crossed. I remember one night, like I went into a house and it was like pitch black in the house. All the lights were off. I'm like, okay, this is good, Yep. And there was like, you could smell they left a crock pot cooking. I was like, that's some good food. That smells good, So I'm like, it got my guard
Thinking
down.
about you getting a
got the
snack.
guard down because I could smell the food. We're walking around, I'm turning on lights, and I walk into the room and I see someone roll over in the bed in the dark.
Mike Myers. He was there waiting for you.
Mike Myers.
He came around the corner. Right?
It could have been Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. But there was someone there, and then I said, hey guys, we got to go. And we left. So we got to go.
But you probably wouldn't have been as comfortable in the situation had he not been cooking pork and beans or whatever.
Whatever that was, I wish I could have asked for the recipe, so I could have tried it.
My one regret.
Well, you handled that situation well. That happened multiple times?
Multiple times, yeah. Another time we were showing an acreage, and I was somebody in the military. He was carrying a gun on his hip. The guy that I was with, not the person we walked on.
Gotcha.
But so there was like a trailer house on a lot of land, and we like walk in the trailer house, and it doesn't seem like anybody's there, and we go in a bedroom, and we were approved to be there. I walk in the bedroom, and there was somebody on the bed, and I think they were sleeping. They were either sleeping or dead. I don't know.
You didn't check. No vital signs were checked.
And thankfully, my guy didn't pull the gun on him.
Sure.
And we got out. And yeah.
I remember that call because it was like this person was so still. You weren't sure what you needed to do.
And I definitely called the agent, and I was like, there's either somebody asleep or dead in your house. So
just giving you a heads up.
Wellness check.
There's your feedback. Tell your seller.
Oh, yeah.
I'd give it a 3, mainly for the...
I'd give this a 3. The body's starting to decay. There's a bit of an odor. You may want to put some air fresheners in. Some people have a pet odor. Some people...
Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. There's your feedback.
So that's the 2 instances I can think of. There have been more, but those were the most entertaining.
Good.
Wow.
Josh.
Yeah.
If you want to go next, I don't care.
Sure.
I can go next, or you can go next.
I'll go next. First one I was going to share was so Guy England, one of my longtime clients. We actually met him.
We love the England family.
Guy is so terrific.
They are great.
So he was one of in that first year. I think it was. I want to say that was your second or third showing to go on.
I think it was the first.
It was your first showing to go on with, and you were shadowing me off a showing request with Guy England. Right?
I'm really interested to see where this is going because I have stories about.
I was
too,
so aloof. I think he trusted I wouldn't steal his money, and that was.
I don't know what I'm doing. That's great. So we show up at this house on Kent Drive. Do you remember the street number on it? We'll throw a photo so people can see what we're talking about.
I don't remember.
He refers to this house every time we ever talk about it as the Liberachi house.
Boy, it was special.
It was that thing unbelievable.
Busy.
So, floor to ceiling mirrors through the entire living room.
Yep.
The biggest highlight though was the mosaic tile detail everywhere in the house. The kitchen.
Name some locations.
The bathroom pedestal sink.
Good.
The other bathroom, all over the tub, all over just walls everywhere.
What about the toilets?
What about the toilets?
What about
the toilets? Mosaic tiles all over them.
Toilet lids.
The floors, everywhere. Someone spent so much painstaking, careful time and attention to applying mosaic tile.
That's right.
Everywhere in this house.
That house was their Rembrandt. It was their Michelangelo.
That's right. Someone's masterpiece. And funny story.
Not all art is appreciated, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So somehow we meet Guy England through that, which is a whole other guy and all his stories. But we ended up getting the chance to actually list that house.
Wasn't it like an estate or something like that?
No, it was. So a guy had bought it for his daughter to live in. And I can't say what she called us or like our.
Very funny interaction.
We can't call it.
She loved us because we weren't a certain kind of realtor.
Yeah.
She appreciated the honesty.
She appreciated the honesty. Didn't whatever. And
wasn't into the flashy, salesy sorts of
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah. And but we ended up selling that house actually to the guy. I got at the end of that whole process. I got to meet the guy who basically flipped all of the village. He remodeled like 100 houses in the village, and over the course of a decade, turned the village that we know of now as like, oh, that's kind of like young and trendy, whatever.
It's phenomenal.
He took all those old houses and flipped them just because he wanted to make the place where he lived a nicer place. Mm-hmm. So Bruce Mulford did terrific work on that.
And second, Josh, you wanted to mention the Finnish Wonder?
The Finnish Wonder. So I have a client who I feel like might kill me every time I talk to her. She was an
what
MMA
did you
fighter.
Do to earn that?
An MMA fighter.
Oh, okay. So
from Finland.
You didn't do anything.
Well, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's because I didn't earn it. That's the only reason she hasn't killed me.
Oh, okay.
So she, Yana Reynolds, we actually just closed. I had sold her a house a couple years back, and then we just listed and sold it. So she is really good natured. Also, I've never been around someone who threatens me more than her. It's like, if you screw me, I will find you and I will kill you. You're like, okay, all right, but
the female like William. What is it? No, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
That's right.
I will find you.
It's that same like Taken vibe. That's right.
But Finnish though.
So but Finnish, yes. And so it's hilarious, right? She's got a terrific accent. So it's funny though because every time she says that, I'm like, yeah, no, I can handle this. We're good.
I think he's saying he could take you. That's what it's saying. It sounds to me like he's saying he could take you.
I would get murdered.
That's a challenge.
But I'm not gonna be a jerk. And so it was really funny because she's totally the kind of person who you show up to the listing appointment and she's trying to negotiate commission, right? And hey, talking me down, whatever. I'm like, oh well, okay. Yep. And I wasn't doing a deal with her on the buy side, or there wasn't really any room that made sense for me on the deal.
Sure.
But she went ahead and listed with me still. And the day that I was listing it, she calls me up and she was like, hey, how about we make a deal? How about if you sell the house within 24 hours, I will give you an extra $1,000 agent bonus. And we get a call get a showing request the next day, get an offer that afternoon.
Wow.
And by that evening, get it negotiated. So The Finnish Wonder went from she was going to bring me down on commission to she paid me more than the average.
Hey,
yeah. So
but you earned it though.
It was great. But no, I loved working with Yana and Scott again. And they're a blast every time. So thank you guys for letting me serve y'all. Did a terrific job decorating the house. There's like this Eastern European decor thing where it's like all gray with one bright color. Maybe it's Eastern European. I've had multiple Eastern European clients.
What was the color?
Orange everywhere. But it was partially because she likes OSU.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I mean, that alone was almost the breaking point. But, yeah.
All of this really seems like it's building up to an open invitation to fight her. Which
Lloyd Noble.
I gotta say, I don't know if that's the best idea.
It's probably
you can lean into that if you want to.
It's probably
but
not. Yeah, I would.
You have a bigger target.
I'm gonna have a hard time wrestling
probably
my son.
dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's right. My head's enormous. Like she.
When you take into account the surface area of your face.
That's right. That's right. Yana, please don't kill me.
There is no such thing as bobbing and weaving for Joshua Lee Malone.
There's a bobbing. It's just there. It's there.
Wow.
That's a great story. Well, fantastic clients.
Yep.
I wanted to start
what's your
off.
story?
Okay, so I wanted to start off with listen. You get into a job, and sometimes it is a bit of a rocky start. And let's just say my first attempted transaction, because that's what it was. It wasn't it did not come to fruition, but it was attempted. It wasn't actually Kreflo Dollar or one of those, famous televangelist, prosperity gospel people.
Didn't have like the rep, like the publicity.
Correct.
Yeah.
However,
our team could have done some work.
However, I later found out that I'm trying to assist somebody in purchasing a house, and this is my first deal, and they have a shed that is slightly encroaching onto the neighboring property. Okay,
easy fix, right?
So you would think. One might think. However,
had been fixed before. Worth mentioning.
So, what happened at this point was we discovered that there was an encroachment. And so it just needed to be addressed with the neighbor. Mm-hmm. So whatever needed to be deeded over, however you get it to where it's no longer encroaching on the property. Okay. So discussions start to occur with the neighbor. And he wanted money. He wanted money. And he came to an agreement that he would agree on a certain amount. And then he backed off of that agreement.
Wouldn't even follow through.
Wouldn't sign off on the agreement.
On the money he was going to get.
On the money he was going to receive.
Which is insane.
First off. Wouldn't do that. And then the other agent actually visited with him face to face. He said he would agree to a certain amount. There was another higher amount. He backed off on that. So he took that back. So at this point,
and just so we're clear, just so we're clear on the nature of this, it's like the line on the survey was going down and had a jut out, and then it hit the shed. So there was already a jut out on the survey in the land amount for the shed. It just was at the wrong spot.
Yeah,
correct.
Oh, and this was it was an acreage too, like a wooded acreage.
Yeah. Yes,
like you had trees, and the little shed thing was like by the house, and this other house was like way away.
Yeah.
And lots of trees in between. You would have never guessed this shop was on the property line of the other thing. It was.
I mean, it was
wild.
like an 8 by 12 foot shed. Like this thing, it was there, but it was barely there. And you're right; it had shown that it was previously accounted for, in the way the survey was performed previously. However, it was located, that little notch creating the space for the shed to be on the right property was just in the wrong location. So anyways, he had backed out multiple times on the dollar amount he was willing to accept, and it got to a place where the seller just couldn't. And it was just too much to ask for the seller anyway. It was just like, I don't blame the seller at all. Yeah. It was just like, it got to where it was ridiculous. Come to find out, he was, in fact, one of those kind of health, wealth, prosperity preachers. Somewhere who, from what I understand, had received charges. I don't know if it was actually like
if they were carried out.
I don't know what the ruling was. However, I think there were allegations with regard to him embezzling funds that were given to the church for an extended period of time. So
Dude likes his money. Dude likes his money.
you would think it's a simple fix. However,
When you're dealing with Kreflo Dollar.
when you're dealing with Kreflo Dollar, you got Jesse Duplantis next door.
Can you really blame a guy for just, trying to get ahead?
Yeah.
That's
you
right.
know.
So that was the first attempted transaction that I had.
Welcome to real estate, Aaron.
Welcome to real estate.
Yeah.
So
That was a wild time. You had the worst first 6 months of any person I've ever talked to in real estate.
It was bad. I felt so bad for those people because those people were trying to be so patient throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of learning this as I go. But this is.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem
Yeah.
right. I haven't seen much, but this is wrong.
So that deal busted.
Yep.
The second story I wanted to tell was sometimes, especially early on, you're trying to help as many people as you can. You're just like, I got to hustle to get this deal.
Oh, yeah.
I will.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make this work no matter what.
Move
well,
mountains.
Crawl over glass.
well, it's like, to a degree, we still do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But let me just finish this story, and
Sure.
we'll determine whether or not this was the best decision.
Do we
at the
still do
time.
this?
Do we still do this? So at the time, I'm trying to assist somebody. They're an investor looking to purchase a place. They're looking for a house to purchase to flip. Okay. Walk up on a house.
And I was there with you as a witness to this.
Yeah. Put in the code. It doesn't, the key won't work, or somehow we can't access the combo box with the code we were given. Can't go through the front door. One way or another, we cannot access the house entering in through the front door. So call a listing agent, ask them, hey, it looks like that there's we can't get through the front door, but there's a window that's slightly open in the back. Is that something, can we just crawl through that? Is that going to be okay? So how else are we going to try to get into this house? So we got permission, and they were like, yep, you're good. Go ahead.
And this wasn't like a Fizbo on Zillow who might actually be like a scammer or something like that. This was a listed house with an agent, so we knew this is the person who has the authority to do this. So,
In the MLS, it was,
Climb on in.
Come on in, you're good. So I mosey in through the window,
Just home alone it.
Heaved.
which was a little bit easier for me to do at the time.
I can't even
imagine.
Was Josh not the one?
I
going
can't even
through the hole?
imagine trying to do that. That was pre-keto, Josh. But for me, that was.
I'm still pre-keto, Jeremy. So
So I got through that window barely, landed, looked up, and noticed this doesn't appear to be as unoccupied as maybe it was listed. And I look up, and in the kitchen, you see some things that are like assorted little snacks, an open bag of funyuns, what could be just remnants of just their snacks everywhere, a sleeping bag, and lo and behold, as you would think, next to the window in the kitchen propped up is a scythe.
A
scythe?
scythe.
A scythe.
A
Like
scythe.
like a Grim Reaper holds a scythe.
Oh, like the sickle, like the stick and a hook thing.
That thing.
Stick and a hook thing. Rusty, an old rickety.
Yep, just hanging out there. So at
Saw
that
it with you.
at that point, I didn't think it best to stay there long. They didn't buy that house.
You did still open up the door, and then we walked around to see the floor plan.
That's
it's just
that's more than I ever did on anything like this.
still trying to get a deal done. But
I
it's
mean,
just
put it
floor
together, man.
floor plan wouldn't work.
What if it included? If they could have got the sleeping bag, could have worked.
Well, I hope that it really worked out for that squatter.
Yeah.
They're
You know-
just fighting for their rights to survive.
Yeah, you know what they say: home is where you make it. So
No one's gonna take me. Muse? Is that what you're referencing?
I don't know.
Your home is where you make it.
Home is where you make it.
That's right. So that was, I definitely wanted to mention that. And then you and I participated in what was well, we didn't know this at the time, but trying to discover gold that was buried at the bottom of a Bible college in the middle of a pasture.
Oh, yes.
Where, where some people, that saying where it's from, I guess it's Field of Dreams.
I was going to say,
it's probably where it's from, Dreams. Where it's the kind of thing like, if you make it or if you build it, they will come. Yeah. If you build it, they will come. They thought that it didn't work. No one
Bible
came.
college.
Just trust me, no one came. They thought about throwing a Bible college in the middle of that pasture. Nobody showed up. But we did. Why?
That's right. Not really sure.
Hey, listen, folks, sometimes it may seem as if we ask too many questions when we get you on the phone.
Yeah.
And
there is an explanation for why.
And it may be like, man, there's a lot of questions. Why are they asking this? We're not trying to be too nosy. Sometimes we're trying to avoid being participants on a show that's called 48 Hours. And we just we want to know what we're getting involved with, who we're working alongside of. And sometimes when you're eager and you're a little green, you're not quite sure how to handle situations like this, and you're dealing with partial pieces of information, you don't ask the right questions. You don't get the info you need. And you start looking for the bodies when you're out there.
Yep, that's
and you're like, where's the rest of the evidence?
Yeah.
Because I'm searching for an escape route.
What did they think that property was worth?
Well, it doubled while we were there. So
this is pre-COVID
it was like
right?
800,000 was what she was trying to list that thing for around there, right?
Yeah, sure.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
Ceiling tiles falling in.
it was a ludicrous number, and then we got there. She told us about gold being buried beneath it.
Yeah.
And the price doubled.
Yeah. It wasn't the land was so much land, and it wasn't that the building was so nice. It was that there was a buried treasure there.
The way the neighbor was looking at the property and examining it, that's how she knew.
So, to make sense of all that, we were trying to call somebody who was interested in listing a property. And they gave us a bunch of details about some place where they had built a Bible college out in the middle of a pasture.
Yep.
So told Josh about it. And of course,
let's do it.
We're idiots enough to go check it out.
We hopped in your minivan.
So,
and then I don't know where we met her. I just started following her car. Like she didn't even give us an address or a location.
Was this because it was so?
It was like we were.
Oh no! She just said, "Follow me."
Follow me
and
from like Loves by Riverwind, and we'll go there somewhere.
Yeah. And of course, me being the complete responsible moron I was at the time was just like, I kind of need to make some money.
I kind of need to feed my family somehow.
I kind of need to find a deal. My cost benefit analysis meter was pretty broken at the time.
There's a YouTube channel called Mr. Ballin, and this guy just like tells really, really creepy, scary stories. And I'd say like a third of them start with this like that. Just follow me.
Yeah.
Just go. Come on, you can trust me. Look, we're good. And then the next thing you know, they're chopping you into pieces and feeding you to pigs or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So I'm glad you survived.
We got out of there. We escaped. Yep.
Do you know where the land is to where if we wanted to go look for that gold, we could?
Oh, man. I don't know. It's kind of like a suppressed memory. I don't know if we could find it. So, secret's safe out there, lady.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't worry. We're not going to come a-looking.
Right now.
Just biding our time.
Well, I thought that was... I definitely wanted to review some of those stories.
It's like, how is this real life? Like, how did that actually happen? But it did. Definitely did.
So, anyways, we didn't list the house. We didn't list the property.
The Bible College.
I think we lost their contact information somewhere.
Man.
So
shucks.
She still opens our emails. Just kidding.
So here's some questions. This is kind of like we have to present an argument or make a case or vote on, of the three of us.
Okay.
Who would we vote for in answering this particular question? Okay. So, who would try to talk down the price of Girl Scout cookies? Who would try to talk down the price of Girl Scout cookies? I know the right answer.
There's a lot of layers to that, I feel like.
Yeah, but there's a right answer.
Okay.
There's a right answer. In fact, I think that they'll probably even vote for themselves.
I mean, I know who I think. I mean, I'm saying Josh. Josh would. I think Josh.
I don't even think it's close.
Really?
Do you want to go ahead and say at the same time on 3 who it would be?
Well, then it would be Aaron. Then I guess. Me? I mean, for me, I'm gonna.
If you get a Girl Scout walking up on you trying to sell you Girl Scout cookies, are you not going to try to negotiate that price?
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna try and build rapport. You know, we got to get this. We got to build a relationship.
Build rapport to what end, though? So you can bring her down on price.
You know, when she has inventory, she comes to me. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm cheap. You know, I'm your guy.
So first, you've got to figure out if she's got the Samoas.
Samoas. I'm really Thin Mints.
So for you, it's the negotiation would be less about the
dollar
price,
yeah,
and more about the confidentiality from the dealer.
Yeah, yeah. That I got first picks,
and Danielle's not going to know about this.
And my children, you know, just, Dad, you got cookies. Just, can I have some of those cookies? No.
Which of the three of us would find a way to break out of prison and succeed?
Well, I mean, based on what you did to get in that house, I'd say you.
Yeah, I think I'm with Aaron, just in terms of the ruthless determination on the thing.
Boy, it would have to take a lot to stop. Yeah.
To stop that from happening, you're saying?
No, there's like a delusional. I probably have like a delusional. This is just arrogance on my part. But what is the Shawshank Redemption?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I watched that and I'm just like, that smells terrible, but I could probably do that.
You know, for me in the Shawshank Redemption, it's the getting down the wall part. You know, like I just couldn't trust myself to shimmy down the wall. Once I get to that pipe, I could get in that pipe, but it's the getting down the wall part. Excellent movie, by the way.
Really good. Really good. So, yeah,
we think Aaron.
I'm with Aaron.
Aaron's
yeah,
the
I'm
one.
absolutely Aaron.
I don't want to read that one. That's depressing. Okay, we'll read it. Whose funeral would be attended by the most people?
Oh.
Now,
Jeremy.
Answer that with kindness in your heart.
It's true.
I am glad they said most, because if this said least, if this says least.
Jeremy is like, you know, it's like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with
I do know a lot of people.
Everyone.
I know a lot of people.
It's insane the number.
This
of
is a
people.
2-horse race. I just want to say,
you're like, I just want to establish.
I just want to establish for this question, there are only 2 participants.
I feel like y'all have done way more for people, like actually established like a lot of value for more people. So
that's nice, but I'm saying you've probably done more than you think, but this is down to 2 people.
Okay.
There's not a third participant as an option here.
Josh has a big family.
I have a large family. That is true.
They have to come.
They have to.
Let's think about this.
They don't have a choice. He wins by default.
That's at least 40 people right there. You know, like, then that's immediate family and kids. Yeah.
Talk about escaping prison. What do you think that feels like for them? They're trying to escape your funeral. They can't.
Wow, man. See, you know all the small town folk, okay?
My guy's falling here.
Yeah. What happened to you?
I don't know. I laughed too hard.
Yeah, apparently. You're moving me with you.
I'm a little worried to ask this next one.
Okay. I think it's Jeremy, though.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think
that's
probably, but it's close.
It's all the small town people who feel that social obligation very strongly, extra strongly, right? Yeah. And, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas, you know, city folk are busier and people dying all the time.
You notice people...
Plus it's Josh.
You win some, you lose some.
Have you noticed, like, people don't stop for funeral processions here? Like when a
Really?
funeral procession comes, like everybody pulls over.
Yeah, you've seen people not stop?
I feel like in Norman, like nobody stops. Like they're just
Really?
like, they're dead. You know.
Really?
Really,
I feel like I've seen them stop.
Maybe I
could be.
caught them on a jerk day.
Yeah, all of them.
Yep.
Just 30 cars in a row. The opposite of paying it forward. Who regularly dreams about someone else in the room?
It's not me. Wait a second. You were telling us about your crazy dream earlier.
Well, this wasn't someone in the room. That was a crazy listing lady. Dream that she kidnapped me and took me back with her to Elmore City.
I feel like Josh is the one on this one. I don't know why. I mean,
Okay.
I
I don't have a lot of dreams. That's the thing that.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember my dreams either. So, Aaron,
I'm incapable of them.
Have you been seeing the Hat Man in your dreams like Aaron Rodgers?
I haven't been doing that.
Okay.
I think I have dreamed of you before, so that would probably constitute most.
See, I almost never dream of anybody I know. I almost never dream of anybody I know.
I knew I shouldn't have asked this question.
What happens in your dreams, Aaron?
I can't remember a dream that I had recently.
It's especially
Take that.
It's especially my wife's dreams though, where it's like always this crazy, intense, like spy suspense, like some weird drama thing is like happening, and it's always Friends. That's what I hear about you guys all the time.
Danielle's, sneaking up on her, trying to kill her.
Yeah, slit her throat. No, usually it's like together we're trying to figure out something else, but then stuff is weird. Yeah.
Oh.
Like an escape room, but in your head.
That's right. Which is us.
That
is Casey in my life. It's an escape room, but in our head.
This has been great for Jeremy and Josh. I'm Aaron. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Maven Show. Maven Real Estate.
Do it.
We'll get those onesies. Not for us.
We show up in like adult onesies.
That's good.
In the next one.
Thanks for watching The Maven Show. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest clips and episodes. Also, comment below with what you thought was the most interesting or helpful from this video. And if you want to help us out, please like and share our posts on social media. Thanks so much.